Hey everyone, welcome back to Getting to Know You. I have loved doing these interviews. I've gotten to know so many people in the parish much better than before, and I'm hoping that you have too. I'm excited today because I get to interview someone who, in my estimation, makes a lot of this parish run, and that, of course, is Joann Perleberg, the Cluster Finance Director for St. Sebastian's and St. Catherine's. Hi, Joann. How are you?
Hi, John. Nice to
Um,
see you.
Nice to see you too. Thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I definitely want to get into your job, especially I'm not even sure if everyone knows that you are the cluster finance, that you do the finances for both. So I definitely want to hear about that. But before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Anything that you want to share?
I was born and raised in Milwaukee. My parish when I was little was St. Greg's on 60th in Oklahoma. Um, we moved out to New Berlin and belonged to Holy Apostles. I went to St. Mary's Academy on the lakefront for the high school, and then I went to Marquette for my college, and I got a bachelor's there. And then later on, I went back and got my master's degree. I got an MBA from Marquette. And I started out as a teacher, a social studies teacher. I taught world history and then criminal and civil law, economics, and U.S. government. And then I started working on my master's and decided I didn't want to get a master's in education. I wanted to do it in business and wanted to be on the business end of institutions. And so I started out as a business manager at Dominican High School. And then in 2006, I came here and began my parish work. In 2010, I also added St. Catherine's. And I became the business manager over there, taking care of their books. And I've been doing that for both parishes ever since.
I have some follow-up questions.
Yep.
Okay, so you taught social studies
Yes.
for how many years?
From 1989 to 1997.
Wow. Did you like being a teacher?
Oh yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. I loved it. I adopted a child in 1997 from Albania. She was 2. And I realized that as a single mom, I was not going to be able to do the teaching things that I did, or, when I would have my law class, I would have papers and I would get 80 papers at the end of the semester, and I would spend the whole weekend reading them.
Right.
And I thought, this isn't going to work. It's better to have a job that I can leave at work, which a business manager's job is more of a leave at work.
Yeah.
Teachers have work all the time.
So
I miss not having the summers off.
Yes. What did you what like first I heard what you said about like compartmentalizing your job, but what was it about finance that you were drawn to?
I just like the preciseness of it. There's really, things balance and reconcile and it's organized. I like that.
That's good. That's good. Thanks. Um, uh, and you adopted a daughter?
Yes. I've got 2 adopted daughters. I adopted one at age 2 in 1997. She's now almost 26.
Okay.
And then I adopted another little girl who was almost 8 in 2005. And
Wow.
she's 23.
She's 23. Okay, cool.
And she actually graduated from St. Sebastian.
Oh, yeah, very good, very good. And you're a Marquette grad.
Correct.
Which is where I also spend some time these days. So that's good. Okay, great. I learned several new things about you, and I see you every day. This is cool. Tell me a little bit about your faith, and then after you talk about your faith a little bit, talk about, I know, like I said, I think you do so much in the parish, and I don't think people are aware of everything that you do. Can you kind of talk a little bit about your roles in both parishes?
Sure. When my parents were teachers growing up. They were in the public school sector. But from 5th grade on, I went to Catholic schools, and I liked being part of that atmosphere, the ritual, the ceremony, the faith-filledness of it. and really pulled me to work in a Catholic high school, and then later on Catholic parishes. I knew when I was going to when I was getting my MBA, I wasn't planning on going corporate. I knew that with these, fewer and fewer priests out there, they were going to need people to run the business part of the church. And I thought that that was something that I could fulfill as my mission. I'm not an entirely spiritual person. I'm not great at coming up with prayers on the on the spot.
I was about to ask you to pray.
Yeah,
No, okay.
no, not me. I can find them. I can Google them and find some good prayers. I've been known to do that. So I thought that that would be a good use of my time. And people will say, oh, you can make more money in the corporate world. Well, I don't really want to do that. I want to serve the people, and this is how I'm choosing to do it.
It would be my estimation that is an extension of your spirituality, but
it's not the touchy-feely kind. I'm not a touchy-feely kind of person.
Can leave that
makes
stuff
me
to me.
uncomfortable.
I like that about you, though. I think, you're refreshing in that way. You're kind of like, here's who I am, and you're incredibly efficient in what you do, and you just get stuff done, and there's no drama, I think is.
I try not to. And sometimes I understand that sometimes people need more. Like we're putting a letter together to send out, and I wrote it, and I'm sharing it with a couple people to maybe add some more stuff to it, because I myself don't like reading long-winded things.
I agree.
I like to just get it out there. This is you're busy, I'm busy. Just read this and do what it says or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know sometimes we need a little bit more, and
I know
to seek out.
Just the facts, right? That's good sometimes. Sometimes in church work we tend to get long-winded, and so we need people like you to kind of keep us on the straight and narrow. I think that's good. I think that's a good balance. So, okay, so you do you do a lot. Name some of the things you do.
I'm responsible for human resources for both parishes. Hiring, and not hiring necessarily, but following the processes of getting people hired. And oftentimes I'll, if asked, I'll be the one that posts it on the website, and will be the contact person for people to send their resumes and whatnot. And I take care of, looking at benefit packages for our staff. We do payroll here. I do have an assistant, Mary Jo, who helps me a lot here at St. Catherine's. I do more of the stuff. It's a smaller parish, so I'll run the checks. I'll do the payroll over at St. Catherine's, where Mary Jo does the payroll here and then gives it to me to process and check over and make sure it's good to go before we send it off. I do.
I would also say that you were like constant during this whole time of COVID. You've kind of been, you've been in and you've been present where a lot of other people haven't been able to be. Right.
At the parish house, we have minimal risk. We just don't let other people in. We're all in sort of each other's bubble.
Yeah.
I did work at home during the early part of the pandemic, but then I just found it to be, it was nice to have my dogs around. But it's much more efficient with a bigger desk and the computer and not the little laptop. And so, yeah, we've been working here. And that was one of my biggest concerns when, March 13th happened, was how were we going to, the thing that weighed the heaviest on my mind was how were we going to keep paying people, and how were we going to do that?
Yeah.
Because of the way churches are set up, they're not part of the state unemployment program. So our employees have a different program that they could apply to if they're terminated for good. And so I was really worried about our part-time employees or our hourly employees, being let out in the cold because they, but we were able to get the PPP loan and keep people getting checks, getting paid. And that really made me feel much more comfortable about things, because I lost a lot of sleep about that.
I'm sure you did. I think that, I mean, obviously it's been stressful for everybody, but the person writing the checks, I think, definitely holds a burden on that. What would you say? This is a kind of on the spot question, but what would you say about stewardship in general at St. Sebastian's? People's generosity. It seems like it's been,
It's been constant. We're so blessed. Um, we're so blessed. Back on March 13th, we were, planning doomsday. Like, oh, we're only going to get 40% of our income, and
right.
what are we going to do? But our giving this year, so since July 1, is on par of what giving was last year, the same time. And if you recall, last year, the same time, we were in a pandemic.
Right.
So that's pretty darn good. Our offertory is way down. That is the plate at Sunday Mass, because people aren't there. But it seems that people are still giving.
Yeah.
And we are so grateful for that, because we're going to get through this, and we want to still have the offerings that our parishioners need. So we want to make sure that we keep things running and being good stewards and all.
It seems like, and to me, because I'm coming from working at another parish, that the generosity, I mean, like that consistency since last year. I mean, miraculous is maybe a dramatic word, but it's a big deal. A lot of places are really suffering, and I feel like the people of St. Sebastian's have been very faithful during this time. Yeah.
They have.
Yeah.
And if more people are using the We Share
Yeah.
to give electronically. So
what in case someone's watching this and they don't know about that, do you want to say something about that?
we have a program called We Share. You can access it on our website, clicking the Donate Now button, and you can set up recurring payments, contributions to the parish, to our building fund, to the school foundation. Parents at the school can make their school payments. Faith Formation can make their Faith Formation payments. You can even go on and buy a Teosente cross made by the people of Teosente. And you can pay either with a check, with your, get the voided check number and put your ABA and your check account number down, or you can pay with a credit card. And you can set it up to be recurring or one time. Checking account has less fees for us, but people have been really starting to use that, and we're going to be putting out a Christmas push on the We Share program.
Okay.
To get people who might not know about it.
So watch for that, everyone.
Yes.
But I mean, it's just, again, one more time to note, like in such a chaotic world of the pandemic, we have been pretty stable, and thanks to the grace of God, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. My last question for you is just kind of looking to the future and thinking about what we're hoping for. What would be your personal hopes for either the parish or the world?
I just want us to get back to our normal. I want us to be able to see each other in person.
Yeah.
I want us to, gather together at Mass and not be afraid to be near someone. And just for the world, it's really hard. And I know that there are a lot of people that have it, who are much more secluded from others because of things.
Sure.
And they're going through a hard time, and I just want us all to get back to, celebrating Christmas together, or just, I worry about that.
Yeah.
I try not to, because I try to be an optimistic person, but will we ever shake hands again when we see people? I hope so.
I think we will, though I've heard that practice might be going away in general. But I think you're right. People are craving just to kind of that human connection again. And I've been thinking a lot about, so me doing my touchy-feely stuff. I've been doing this Advent formation and talking a lot about the last week we talked about the theme of hope. And it was just like, we can see that light at the end of the tunnel now. We know it's coming. We know we're going to get back there. We just have to stay steady and consistent a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I
getting
hope that
there.
we just can get, we're going to have a sort of a virtual auction this year. Want to get back to, being together.
Yeah, yeah. When is that? When is the virtual auction?
It's going to be in February.
Yeah. So we got to hold out hope, and then we'll get back to that normal. But Joann, I wanted to say thanks so much for all of the work that you do, much of which is just behind the scenes and people are not aware of it all. But you keep the doors open, you keep the lights on, and you keep operations flowing.
It's really a team effort.
I know, but I often think that you deserve a lot of the credit. So I am saying that right now. Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Well, blessings on your journey. Thanks so much for talking to us for a few minutes.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here with us, John.
Thank you.